Hi there, I'm Hayden Crawford from numerologist.com, and here are my top 7 tips on how you can beat fear so that you can reach your full potential. Fear is definitely at the top of the list when it comes to an emotion which prevents you from leading the life of your dreams. It's one of those emotions actually that is beneficial to a certain degree because it actually stops you from making tough decisions and putting yourself in danger. However, it's also one that can limit your progression in life and stop you from really fulfilling your true potential. Now, the successful amongst us realise that fear has to be confronted on a day-to-day basis in order to be able to head towards the things that they want to manifest, and hence, because they keep on overcoming fear by taking these baby steps, they have achieved the things that they have attained in life. Now, it seems to be a bit of a 20th century condition, doesn't it, living with fear? And I think it's basically because we're bombarded by so many challenges during our life and we don't know which ones to sort of confront to try and keep us moving forward. So I've got quite a few tips that I'd like to share with you today, my top 7 tips actually, which will help you to move from a point of fear so that you can start leading the life of your dreams. Number 1 is to observe your body. Now, when fear arises in you, what I want you to do is to just scan down slowly through your body, just observing whereabouts that you are experiencing any anxiety or any pressure or any pain. What I notice when I get fearful is that I get butterflies in my stomach, and it seems to be a bit of a Libran thing actually, so it affects my digestive system. For other people, they might get sweaty palms, or they might get a bit of a quaky, quivery sound in their voice. They might sort of raise their shoulders up like this so that they, become very rigid. And, so there's all sorts of different ways that fear can affect our physical body. Sometimes, you can get heart palpitations or get really sweaty, or you may even experience pain in your lower extremities. So it really is a very individual thing. So once you've observed that, what I want you to do is to do some conscious breathing. So what I mean by this is just to slow everything down. So if you notice your body tensing up, you see those patterns repeating themselves again, all I want you to do is to close your eyes, take a big deep breath in, and then try and breathe out more air than you've breathed in, because that in effect will overcome those trigger responses which are having those automated responses within the body, causing anxiety and stress. It's a really effective way to overcome fears so that you can move beyond them so they don't keep you feeling stuck. Number 2 is to notice your point of focus. There's a reason why they say that fear is false expectations or experiences appearing real. That's the FEAR of fear. And that's because a lot of it is an illusion. It's a conjuring up of scenarios, images, expectations that might not necessarily be true based on a set of circumstances. So for example, you have an imagination and it's there really to be able to project you into scenarios so that you can create the desired results for yourself. Now, sometimes that can run a bit riot, and this imagination can see things in the future that might not necessarily ever come about, and usually they don't actually. So for example, you might have a fear of driving and you get in the car and all of a sudden you're noticing your imagination is creating a scenario where you're going to be in a road accident. Just by becoming aware of your point of focus, you can choose a more desired outcome for yourself. So you can just visualize a safe journey. You can imagine turning up at your desired destination safe and well and happy, and hopefully before the time that you were due to arrive. So it's actually something that's very much in your control. So your point of focus really needs to be channeled into your desired outcome instead of, sort of imagining these unbelievably bizarre and unrealistic expectations that really will never ever happen. Number 3 is to mind your language. I want you to start noticing the voice of your inner critic. I actually also call this my monkey mind because it always tries to put me off doing things that I know are going to be beneficial for me in the long run. So it'll tell me that I'll make myself look like a fool or that I'll do something wrong. And really this is just a pattern of a belief that has been either taught to you or that you've picked up along the way that no longer serves you. So by being consciously aware of the inner voice trying to sabotage the outcome for yourself, you can choose a better feeling thought, and really it is under your control as well. So you can actually reprogram that voice to kind of tell a different story so that you attract a much better outcome for yourself. Number 4 is to set your goals and then take inspired action into achieving them. A really great way to be able to start this process actually is to develop a strategy or create a dream board. Now I find both actually really effective. One of the best ways that I found was actually to just gather some pictures together of the things that I wanted to create in my future. And this can change over time, so don't worry too much about what it looks like at first, but gather them together, words that are uplifting, that you feel that you want to be a part of your life, because this will give you goals that you can aim towards. And then all you do is you just take the inspired action, the baby steps along the way to achieving them. I think that taking inspired action is possibly one of the best ways of overcoming fear, because if you don't, then the fears tend to grow. They get bigger and bigger within your mind, and before you know it, you kind of feel really stuck and frozen in time. So yeah, create your dream board, formulate a very detailed plan and have a strategy, and then go for it and see what happens. Number 5 is to face your fears. Face your fears and they'll disappear. It's absolutely true. And that's just doing one thing every single day that makes you feel a little bit scared. And watch how that fear kind of dissipates by you taking those steps. Now, for me, I find it very important to get comfortable with the uncomfortable, because that's where you kind of see personal development and growth within yourself or the things that you're aiming towards. So yeah, face your fears, they'll disappear and you'll feel a lot better in the process too. Number 6 is to enjoy a colour bath. Now, if you really want to take this to the next level, we really need to bypass the conscious mind and activate the subconscious and clear any patterns or traumas, shock, fear that's caught within the cellular memory. And one of the best ways to do that is actually to bathe in colour. Now, I know this is a bit of a modern take on an ancient wisdom, but it works, and you'll find yourself feeling a lot lighter too. So you might notice behind me here, I've got some colour bottles. Now, the colour of the bottle will change dependent on the nature of your fear. So say, for example, you've got a fear of the environment that you live in, or that you are scared, you feel fear within the physical body, then red is a very good option to bathe in. Now, this one actually in the colour mirror system represents the base chakra, so fear sits a lot of the time within the base chakra, which is our safety, our security. And it's only when that's activated actually that the Kundalini rises and that all the other chakras run and spin in synchrony with each other. So red is definitely a colour which is very powerful and potent at being able to clear that really deep safety, security, survival kind of panic and fear and terror that can sit within the body. The other colour which works really well is the gold on top with orange underneath. This clears away shock and trauma, but it's also, if you've got a fear of pleasure or a fear of your own self-worth that for women is actually stored within the ovary, so bathing in this colour will dissolve those fears of rejection, fears of allowing intimacy into your life, and the fear of your own self-worth. It's a really, really good one. The other colour that works really well for overcoming fear and that's fear of power, your own personal power, but also, you know, wisdom as well, you know, your own power and intellect. Is this one here. So it's the ego color, really, yellow, and what that'll do is it will clear any low self-esteem, low self-worth that are preventing you from taking your inspired action. So those three colors really are very, very powerful. All you do is bathe in these beautiful colored elixirs and just allow them to seep in through the skin, which is your body's largest organ. They'll go into the cells and they'll go intelligently find the solution to be able to clear those away. So it's a really powerful and revolutionary new way to be able to do the work on a subconscious level and get it gone for good. And you could also use coloured sprays as well. So I tend to use like the yellow angel or the red angel, and you just spray them around into your aura like that. And that one's beautiful. It smells really lemony and very empowering, so it really helps to bypass fear, and for any sort of physical fear, then use the red angel. All right, so yeah, give it a go. You could also use red foods, wear red clothes, bathe in red light. Just bringing red, yellow and orange colours into your life will definitely help you move beyond fear. And finally, number 7, my final way of being able to beat fear so that you can live a life to your full potential is to rewire your brain. Now, I love this expression because it almost suggests that we're almost quite robotic and that we're able to kind of go in there and reprogram and rewire ourselves so that we can function at more of an optimum level. And I actually believe that to be true. Now, the way to do this is to use mantras or affirmations. For many years I've used affirmations, and in particular before I emigrated to Australia, I used to walk around a lake which was near to the house about 3 times every morning. It was a huge lake, and I used to just say some really positive affirmations to myself because I'd noticed that I'd slipped into a very negative state of mind because I was living in fear. I was fear of change, I was resistant to change, and because of that, you know, everything was kind of like it was a big brick wall around me. So I'd be walking around this lake and I'd be saying things to myself like, I love and accept myself just as I am. I am going with the flow. Today will be full of exciting opportunities. You know, I like money. I love money. I use it wisely, constructively and judiciously. I am letting go of pain and struggle. I release the past and I bring in the future. And I was saying these things over and over and over again to myself. Now, a lot of people I know sort of do question at the effectiveness of affirmations. I think everyone has a very different experience with them, but they work for me. So you could give it a go. So just write down a list of affirmations. You know, I'm overcoming fear. I am now confident and take inspired action towards a successful future for myself. And say these positive things that are set in the present moment, because that will help rewire the brain so you can have more positive thoughts, which will change your point of attraction, which means that you can manifest all the good things into your life and really lead a very fulfilled life. Just don't let fear be the reason that you don't thrive during this lifetime. Look, I'll be back next week with some more top tips from Hayden, so I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.